both Dad and me. He has went on 2 vacations, one to Hawaii and the other time to California, Reno, Lake Tahoe. He is not only our farmer, he is our yard and garden boy. Thanks, Doc. We couldn't farm without you. Joel. Another boy, but now we had 3 girls in high school, and they think they raised you. But you was a big boy, and you just followed the other boys. All 7 boys were altar boys. In 4-H, you was the only one in the family that took a steer to the state fair, and you did well. You went to Idaho on an exchange student trip for 4-H. In high school, you was in the basketball in the state tournament. You also went to states with shot put. You did very good in many track things, but you didn't get many trophies. They were mostly red and white painted rocks. Those days. He did not like to do much field work because he felt he broke down too often. But he was a special yard boy and garden boy. Maybe that's why you have such a nice garden today. Many times during your high school years, you would go checking traps before you went to school. You also sold many tourists. You could go out walking along the river and just forget to come back home. You were the only one in our family that has gotten a couple of deer with bow and arrow. As of today, you are a vivid hunter. You were so eager to work. When you came out of high school, you applied for work and you said you were 18 because Sweetheart Bakery wouldn't hire you because you were only 17. And you have worked for Sweetheart ever since. Then along came Nikki, such a smiling, happy girl, and joined the family. Joel had a home when they got married, but before long it got too small for that growing family. So last fall, they bought a new home. Last fall, he also got that Bambi Award. Thanks for all the work you have helped us on the farm. You have stacked many bales. You've cleaned and cut grass. We thank you for all you've done for us, Joel. And there was always room for one more boy. And he became my helper. His dad had all those other boys. At a young age, he knew we were making hay south of the farm. So he was coming out across the wheat field. But the wheat was taller than he was. So he laid down for a rest. And the dog helped us find him. He could scrub floors as good as any girl. And no baked cookies were his specialty. The teachers would tell us he is a good listener in school, and I know he enjoys books more than nearly everyone else. Basketball was his favorite sport. He had knee problems during basketball days. Doctors made him wear special knee pads, and they said he's got ostrich bladder disease. I think he used up every foul in every game he could. He went to Missouri for 4-H exchange trip. He made many things in 4-H. He got grand champion at the state fair for home living. He made bulletin boards and litter racks. He became the 4-H king of the county. When he got out of high school, he said to Dad, "Buy me a car and I'll work myself through college." And that he did. He stayed with big brother Ellen Jones, finished college in 3.5 years. He was on the dean's list. He worked at White Mart all the while. His first job right out of school, he worked for First Farm Management. First job out of college, he worked for First Farm Management. He also had many clients of his own when he worked income tax. From there, he moved across town for accountant. Today, he works for a big firm company. He does the hiring and the firing. He works for cross country. In Bismarck, he has found his helpmate, Lisa. He bought his home before he got married, and now they're expecting their second child this month. Thanks for all you've done for us, Kenny. Kathy Ray.
Oh.
When you came along, we named you after Mother and Dad. You were Kathy Ray. And the whole family was happy when you arrived. They came out to not only the Irish influence, so did you. You got kind of spoiled from the whole family. Because by now the oldest four children had left home, and they would always come and bring you something. I only helped along after I had no one else at home. John was too big to spoil. You always had locks in your hair up until you were at least in third grade. You was beside me wherever I went. When we left by car, you and I would sing songs all the while we were driving. You had two nieces when you were born. At a young age, you played school with all those nephews and nieces. Maybe that's what led you to be a teacher today. You was in 4-H. You was a cheerleader from 5th grade on. In your freshman year, you cheered the Carlsbad Tigers at the boys' state tournament. You was a flower girl many times, a bridesmaid 3 times. In your senior year, you was the homecoming queen. You did a lot of babysitting, not only for neighbors, but for nieces and nephews. You and I had to go shopping often because you were in so many things. You was a leader, not a follower. Patrick came along in your high school years. You was the only girl in the family with a college 4-year degree. You got a car when you went to college for mine as the only girl also. You worked all the time either by the ice cream shop or at Hatches. You graduated from Mary College. You got yourself a baby girl, Elizabeth, one you always wanted. You got a teaching job this year, and I know you have the largest Christmas collection from Hatches. Thank you for all you've done for us. As you all grew up and time went so fast, we played together. My, how many ball games we attended, and all those bars and pies and stuff we took along to all those affairs. We even had our own 4th of July parade. Remember? We prayed together often, and when we all knelt down to pray the rosary, and each one of you changed off leading a decade, I usually led the litany, and each one would sneak up towards the table to see who could blow out the candle first. And we worked together. We milked many cows, we fed many pigs. Chickens, there was always a big bunch to clean, some years over 500. Dad was often gone working for a paycheck. With the ASD officer, he was driving a youth for the missile site, while the family and I made hay, or whatever had to be done. Then night came along, Dad would repair our problems so we could go on again the next day. Now today, I hear often from our children's employers, your children are not afraid of work, and that's something you have to learn when you are young. Even you children tell me, Mother, some of the people we work with don't know how to work. I tell you, children, keep your families close to you. Laugh with your families. Play with them. Watch them with pride. Talk with them often, and you'll learn with them. Stand by their side. Dream with them. Grow with them. All your life through. And they'll share a world full of happiness and joy with you. This is the last of my talk, but the first in my life. Nearly 48 years ago, I promised to be your helpmate, and that I tried to be. You made a farm wife out of me. I helped you to be a caretaker of God's earth. I had the feelings of success and happiness with you. I saw many sunrises and sunsets over the plains. We went on many trips. We've seen the East Coast, the West Coast, Canada, Mexico, Hawaii, Disney World, Epcot, Disneyland we were several times. The greatest honor of all was bestowed upon me, as only God can do, when I became the mother of 12 healthy children. I thank you. And we are now expecting our 30th grandchild and the 4th great-grandchild. May God continue to watch over Buddy and me and our every member of our big family.
Come home from all of their parties or whatever. The Easter Bunny didn't come yet till later on at night when we were all sleeping. My brothers would bring in the big tires, and they'd make nests inside of these tires and hope that the Easter Bunny would fill them up. I think Easters are probably my favorite time. Well, the Easter Bunny put in eggs.
What did the other ones put in?
We got some beer in them.
Beer.
Okay,
Rock.
Yeah, Marilyn got mayonnaise.
Yeah, I got mayonnaise.
Ben?
Give it one.
No, she already had one. No, she just had one. She just had 3 of them.
She can have one.
She doesn't need one. She's got one.
You
She
got
has
one,
that
right?
one.
Yeah, go back to mom. I don't know. Can't you hear Miller?
Hi, how you doing?
Elena Green, don't open
Turn up your hearing aid.
Brooke, come here.
Brooke. Wing it? All the years that I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of times that I can say were really bad. I mean, all times were special. I can remember fishing with Joel. We used to catch pails full of crab down back behind the river there. I can remember that way back. Remember when I was little, we still milked. In '69, we had like these 5 rocks or something like that. We used to play some game. I was only 3 years old. I don't remember what kind of game it was. Anybody remember?
Fruit basket upset.
What?
Fruit basket upset.
Fruit basket upset? I couldn't remember what that game was. I was only 3, but I still remember playing that game. Then I was just growing up. Probably the most enjoyable times still now are just coming home for deer season and spending time with everybody and having a good time. There's been a couple outlaws that have been in the family since then, but that kind of makes things a little fun because they usually are the ones that get the shaft. But no, things have been a lot of fun, and I couldn't ask to be in a better family. Oh, wait, what?
Hey, where's the beer now? I guess the best times I liked was living on the farm. The river is all right here.
Yep.
A lot of wildlife and fishing and trapping. If I had nothing to do, I would just walk the river for miles and just come back home. Yep. That was just fun, just growing up right in this area.
Okay.
When he'll scratch his head.
Neil, just wing it.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I sure couldn't.
I know you're thinking.
Yeah, we had a lot of good times. Same with Joel, we were out trapping a lot. Had a lot of times walking the river and come back with a few animals. One thing I really enjoyed too, if anybody ever had any problems, there was always somebody else to come and help do the work and help along. That was a lot of good times.
Yeah.
Go on, Neil. Go on, Neil.
Walk slower.
Wing it, yeah.
Put that piece of paper in there. Yeah. No, there was a lot of good times in the farm. I guess I always liked mostly going out in the field, just being around here. And one time, remember I had to save my brother's life when they were walking out front here. He was drowning in a little mud puddle. He had hip boots on, they were full of water, and he couldn't get out of there. That was Delvin. And I guess just mostly having everybody home, nice being here. Thanks.
What you doing in the stream? What you doing looking at your butt? I got a wing and tilt.
What I remember most about the farm, when I was small, we used to play a lot by the river. We cleaned the truck box out one time, and Don, he was sitting down there underneath the box, and I said, Don, if you don't move, drop this can on your head. He didn't move, got a broken head. So I had to, then the next time, we were playing in the manure pile back here. We were playing NAO with croquet balls. And I think Don was caught on the top there again. Let's see, and by the way, Neil, I did save your life. One night, you know, he said save, he was sleeping, and he woke, and I was, save me, so I woke him up and I saved him. So we're even. One night I took him home, one night I was coming home from town, and here that green dot was on the side of the road, and he said, I just can't get down the road. He said, oh, just let me drive, I'll get you home, so I got him home. Oh, and across the river, one time it was after the '69 flood, Dad decided to make the whole one big field back there, and he said, well, you're going to have to go out and disc that field. He gives me this little tractor and wheels, but the disc hardly covered it. It took me 2 days to go around that field. And then after I think it was on the way home that time when I was about Easter time. I think I got sick and I missed out on it. So I got too excited about the Easter Bunny. I missed one Easter. I just enjoy being around the farm. I like the quiet, the peace, just enough to play around.
I remember taking care of my brothers.
Oh, the hangers are
That's why the good Lord gave me 3 more boys, since I did such a good job with my other brothers. I remember not having toys, and we didn't need toys like my kids. We have to go get a movie. We can't be bored. But we used to make Easter baskets out in the garden. You know, put the dirt together and sit on it and put rocks in there for eggs, and that was toys to play with. But we always just made fun of nothing, and we were satisfied.
How about the hangers and stuff?
I'll do the hanger.
Oh.
What?
Brooke, come here.
Well, I was going to tell you guys how you guys all enjoyed camping. Remember the only way we could camp or go out camping when we were kids growing up? Either on the clothesline, we take some blankets and make a thing, and we could sleep under that. Or one time we camped out in the back of the red truck box, and we were camping. That was a night out.
We didn't stay overnight though.
Did we get scared in?
Yeah, we came in.
I think when we were in the red truck box, somebody come around and was making noises, and in we jumped. And then back behind here, we used to have a clubhouse. And it was a green, I think, was it, I don't know, what, old outhouse? I don't know what it was, but it was the clubhouse. And the main floor, the girls could be, but we could never go upstairs. I don't know what was upstairs. But the boys kind of had a sleeping bag, but they slept up there a couple times, didn't you, Wayne? You slept up there, I thought you did, but we never, us girls never got to, I never went upstairs. I don't know what was up there. But anyways, the hanger thing. We were always responsible to put the boys to bed, to make sure the boys got put to bed.
And they got put to bed.
And you know, sometimes they'd sit over there and they'd talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and we'd say, shut up, go to bed, or we're going to come over and hit you. And they still wouldn't shut up, so we'd go over there with hangers, and we'd beat them. And they'd yelp and scream and cry. And you know, for years back, I was like, oh God, we shouldn't have did that. You know, I really feel bad. We should have never hit those boys at those hangers like we hit those boys at those hangers. And I think one time Joel told me, we were all married and gone from home, and Joel said, or Delvin said, well, they used to stick pillows underneath the blankets, and they'd keep talking to get us all upset and mad at them. So we'd come over and hit them, and as we hit the pillows, they'd scream and scream. And here we thought we were beating them.
Wing it, Wayne, wing it.
Take a chair up there, Wayne, so you can sit down.
It'll be a while.
Not too long.
Not too long.
Long enough.
I think the things that I remember most are what you sit and talk about now that Ma and Dad, they didn't know about this. You know, I always wanted to go out in the field early, and Alan would be out there in the field and says, "Here, Wayne, here. Go there, take the tractor, just drive. Alan go sleep in the trees." So another time we were out here cutting hay, and Keller boys came down, and they went all swimming in the water hole. And Al says, "Wayne, you cut grass." No, I was only a little. I was cutting hay. Then Al go swimming. I made a few rounds, and came back, and they were all swimming. I wanted to go swimming, but I didn't because Alan just about drowned it. David and Sam pulled Alan out of the water hole that night. He just.
Hey, Wayne, talk about the time on Thanksgiving when you went in the water.
Oh yeah, and one other time, folks never knew about it though, was I was checking traps along the river, and I was skating with the skates, and plump, I fell through.
That was Thanksgiving. Joe Leaders were out that day.
Yeah,
Nobody knew that, though. Nobody knew that.
and Delvin came, and I ran to the barn, and Mom and Dad, you're not supposed to know this, you know. Delvin ran in the house to get me some clothes. So I changed clothes and everything out in the barn, and came back and had to sneak all the clothes in and put them away, and so folks never knew about it until about 20 years later when we told them that I fell in the river about up to here with the skate. And one of the other things that I enjoyed was Keller's one time, they baled this here oats for us out here. And us kids would go out there with our wagons and pull the bales in, 1-2 bales at a time. And we had a pulley on the old barn. We threw the rope around the pulley, tied it to the bales, jumped on the rope and out the top of the awning, so the bale would go up and you'd go down. We hauled many bales that way. Well, that's about it.
Al wanted me to be older than him. Well, let's see. I wasn't really much of a baseball player, but I remember after supper nights, we'd have a whole team. After we'd leave the dishes on the table, we'd go out right over here to the tree, and we had the bases, and every time Alan and Wayne would hit the ball and break the barn window. But we had our own ball team out here. And then we played a lot of pinochle. It was a lot of fun. We could do our own thing. We didn't need company. We could just do it all ourselves.
Yeah, pull your pants up. Here, and
Okay.
I remember a lot of things back about right this farm right here. My grandpa Walter used to take me down a spot right down here. I catch bullheads with him all the time. Right this little spot here, bull, you get 20, 25 bullheads all the time. And Mama says, "That's enough fishing. That's just back to work, back to work." And she would call me, says I would have to turn around and Grandpa would take me go fishing back down here again. Another thing too, I was driving the car down here one time across the bridge over here. And I was just going, I missed the corner, so I forgot I still got through my ticket. I took the corner and the car took the corner and it was up the ditch, halfway up the ditch. It was ready to tip over, just ready to fall over the ditch. Here Red comes by. He picks me up, says, "Where's the car at?" He says, "Someplace down the ditch here." I got home and I grabbed Wayne, tractor. I says, "Wayne, get inside the car. The car's ready to flip over. You get inside and steer it out." Yeah, so I sent Wayne inside there, and he said, "I'm not going in there." He said, "Just go in there and steer it out." So I took the tractor to steer it out, and Wayne was hanging on the side of the ditch, just barely made it out. He says, "I made it out of here." Yes. Yes.
So, Alan, how about the time the tractor started on fire back there when you and Wayne were filling up?
Oh yeah, we were back by the tank back here. We had to pull the tractor to get it started, so I didn't want to shut it off. So pulled up the tank over there, and I started putting gas, and the gas nozzle wouldn't quit. Running, the gas was running over the muffler. And lucky nothing ever started on fire. Just kept on and running. Yeah. Well, that's about it. It's already pretty well covered here.
Well, it's kind of nice to be laughed once, just once. Thanks, guys.
I had an Easter. My Kathy Ray started out. The last one started with an Easter, but I didn't have Easters like she did. My Easters were a little bit different. We didn't have. All we had were our shoe boxes. Every Easter, we all got a pair of new shoes. And on Holy Saturday, Easter dyeing eggs was not. You kids were all went to bed. I got to stay up with Mom and Dad and do that. But Dad would sit there. We'd come home from Saturday night mass, and I can remember my dad. That was a happy Easter. Those were some good times. Another time that were real good was when we come home from school, cold and everything, Mom would have a nice hot meal ready on the table for us, and we could just sit down and eat. And I think really my special time with Dad was when we measured land. We could go out, and I got to have lunch with the guys when we went from farm to farm. Those were some good times. And you know what, kids? I got to get away from you guys for a while, too. That's it.
Oh, Dad's turn.
Oh, I gotta say thank you anyway. Well, thank you, boys and girls. I'm glad you all enjoyed it at home, had fun. What else? And thank you, Mom.
Worked hard.
You worked hard. And now I find out some of the things that you did that you never told us. What?
Alan was making Wayne do all the work.
Alan made Wayne do all the work. So thank you much. We had all fun together. But, what?
What? What?
Well, thank you anyway.